Hi, everybody. It's Kindle Fire here on the Carnival Jubilee, and you're listening to the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
Here are your hosts, Thomas Kennedy, Trevor Shelby, Gary Manning, and Jennifer Roll. We talk cruises every day. Let the golden boys and girls take you away to a place of fun in the sun. Join us as we say, welcome to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
I'm on a cruise. I'm on a cruise, guys. Guys, I'm on a cruise. Hey, guys, I'm on a cruise. Which one's which?
Oh, look at there!
Oh my gosh. Welcome everybody to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways, where it's just Gary and I, and this is a wild episode. We've got some things planned out. We did a pre-production that we might have filmed the entire thing of. And so we're going to continue our series of cruise secrets, of what we do when we go out on excursions and when we're going home. So there you go. But we've got some cruise news and some things that we're going to get out of the way first. But man, Gary, how have you been?
I'm telling you, man, I am doing great. My goal, my mission, my dream has finally happened. It has finally arrived. And that is for it to be the Trevor and Gary show. I'm so excited. I'm almost about to just like shed a tear, man, because like for 3.5 years, 7,022 episodes or whatever it's been, ever since I heard you and that other guy discuss the Mardi Gras.
Yep.
I thought, you know what? I got to get on that show. I got to help them out. They need help.
We need help. We needed it bad, man.
That other guy just needs to get off. Trevor needs me. He needs the bandit. He's Smokey. He needs the bandit. And here we are.
and you know it's terrible is poor Mr. Kennedy is laid up right now, so we wish him all the best. And so we're thinking about him, and so he's not doing that great, guys. So definitely keep him in your thoughts right now. Jen, however, did you hear?
She refused. She refused. I know she refused to come on the show, and then the news broke right afterward.
Yeah, she's joining the Cruisers podcast. She said that she's going to get them to that episode 4. She's going to get them there. So I don't know.
She can do it. She had a great offer from him. I mean,
yeah. I don't blame them. So, it's just one of those things.
That's it. Hopefully we'll see what happens next week. But, we're recording on a Friday, the day before the episode even comes out. So you have your hands full. You're going to be editing after we get done recording this so that you can best schedule it to come out tomorrow. So I am, man, I feel for you, buddy.
Well, the way I typically do these things when we're up against the wall is I don't edit. So we just got to make sure not to make any mistakes.
I'll do my best to not throw any kind of monkey wrenches into your plan there.
Yeah. Just don't talk about how we feed the dog.
The pressure is on.
But yeah, so I did something this week, and I've got a confession to make. And well, I wanted to know, because we do this for the last 2,184 episodes. We have done Am I the Snooty Snoot to start off the show. And this week I have done something incredible. I went to Reddit's Am I the A-hole, and I posted something incredible. And I
thought Ada thread.
Let me just put it this way. I have something, not only it was so good, Madison found me a voice actor to reenact the post itself. So here it is.
Oh, wow.
So, I am a podcaster who covers cruise ship content along with a bunch of silliness. We started doing group cruises with our listeners beginning next year, and one of the cruises we are going on is a guys-only cruise, which is over President's Day weekend. The problem is, it's also over Valentine's Day as well. My co-host and I didn't even give this a thought. Honestly, it slipped our minds completely. We didn't really see the problem because our wives are awesome and would celebrate it the weekend before. Our wives have joked that we owe them some spa time, which is totally true. But to some of our co-hosts and listeners, they think we are assholes for doing this. One of them thinks we should change the date, even though we have had listeners book in, which we will not do. The other thinks we should bring our spouses, but my wife has not shown any interest in joining this cruise. For context, we go on cruises every year for vacation and for our podcast. This will be a podcast-related cruise where we will be recording each day, getting video content, and conducting interviews. But to be completely honest, we will also be enjoying the cruise when we are not doing those things. AITA for leaving my wife behind over Valentine's Day. Edit. For context, President's Day weekend was discussed with our wives beforehand. They also forgot that was Valentine's Day weekend until after we booked. So,
thank you, Cowboy Madison.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what we had to pay him, but whatever we did, it was worth it, man. That guy, he needs to be on radio professionally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that was pretty good.
So I'm a podcaster. I love it.
I mean, who's the guy with the Sam Elliott, right? And that's his name I mean, he had that Sam Elliott feel to him. That was pretty funny.
So, and I put it to it. And now this is no joke. I had no clue because I don't post a lot. I surf Reddit a lot, but I do not post in Reddit. And I had no clue that they have post insights. So guess how many people read this post?
Man, this is Reddit, so it could be in the thousands.
40,000 people.
Oh my word!
Read this post. Okay.
Wow, dude, that's more people that are in my town.
It's wild how many people read this. So I will give the overall of what Reddit gave it, but we will see. So the first post here, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will go kind of evenly go through here. What the first person says, not the asshole. Your listeners do not get to decide what is right for you and your wife. As long as your wife is fine with your activities, that's all that matters.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the way I feel. That's the way my wife feels.
And here is this one. You're the asshole. I don't give a flip about Valentine's Day, but it sounds like you guys just picked the dates, didn't even bring it up to the wives, which we did, and to ensure the dates actually worked with your families. It's not asking for permission. It's making sure little Johnny doesn't have school to play or whatever. Your spouses is the real partner, not the podcast bro. So,
man, oh boy,
so
we might have to fight.
So here's a good one. You can ask for info. So somebody asked for more info. They said, if your wives had ejected, what would you have done? And I said, we would have changed the dates. That's honestly what we would have done. And they said, 100. All right, not the asshole. Yes. The next one, very next one, you're the asshole because You didn't think of the date in advance. You put your awesome wife on the spot to be okay with this. That's not real, or that really does not show thoughtfulness to your wife. Lucky you that after the fact that she was okay with it. What would you have done if she wasn't? You said you wouldn't change the date, so would you have been unkind to her? You ended up being lucky that you're not as awesome of a husband as your wife is to you. Had you discussed this in advance with your wife, you would have truly been okay with it. So
I get that. I've always said that my wife is more awesome than I am, and so I mean, and that I always, I'm very, indebted to her, and I'm nowhere near as good a husband as she is a wife. So I mean, that person was, they were right on.
Another one says, "You're the asshole to your fellow co-hosts. This should have been discussed with all of them."
It was through text.
It kind of was.
The other co-hosts,
there's only so much like they really nitpick in some of this because I didn't post that we discussed it with everybody because I didn't think that needed to be added.
Right, but that's kind of inferred, right? I mean, yeah, it's inferred in my opinion. Not it, so.
I did get some that were like not even voting one way or the other, but it was like apologize to your wife for your thoughtlessness, make arrangements with your wife for a special evening or weekend, and bring back from the trip something very expensive and a thoughtful gift for your wonderful and sorely
delete
missed
that one.
wife.
You said you weren't going to edit anything. You gotta. When they hear that, they're going to want something. We can't. They need to delete. We need to delete that one from the roll. No B-roll. Nothing like that on that because. Yes, bringing back something expensive is not going to be in the books or in the.
So, this with the tally of votes.
That's what I was about to ask.
People also vote by giving a up vote to the poll, and they don't necessarily post, but they can up vote. We got not the asshole. So there you go. So it's official, everybody.
In 2025, prepare to go presidential as the podcastaways Gary Manning and Trevor Shelby go on a President's Day Dudes Cruise. And dude, you are totally invited. We will be sailing on the Carnival Valor on February 13th through the 17th. From New Orleans to Cozumel, it's going to be one wild ride. Contact Amanda Barmore with Have Luggage Will Travel or email booking at hlwtravel.com for more information.
Every time, man.
That's one of my favorite things I've put together.
I tell you. And then when the beat drops on that thing, it's like, oh yeah, here we go. Especially with these headphones, these cans, man. It really hits that bass hits. So, but hey, just real quick, I just need to show this. I bought a dog bed for my dog this week.
Yeah.
And off of that A to Z website. And I just noticed something. It's a convoluted dog bed. Convoluted. I mean, I thought convoluted had a different meaning than just.
Me too. I was about to say this is getting pretty convoluted right now.
I was just sitting here, and the box is still on my dining room table.
That
from
is
where we
great.
Took it out. But yeah, so I'm sorry. That's just totally off in right field or left field way I am with my stuff that I have. But no, back to the guys trip. Listen, I'm telling you, we've got Brandon has said we can use his name. He's on board. And I thought, did he leave a speak pipe? Do we want to play that?
Oh, yes, he actually did. I'm glad you brought it up, man, because I would have forgotten in a heartbeat. And so I am terrible with speak pipe. Okay, I need to edit that out. Oh, here we go. Here, I actually had it ready. So here it is.
Hey guys, this is a loyal anonymous listener. So my favorite podcast is hosting a dudes cruise on President's Day weekend, February 13th through the 17th. I really want to go, but it lands on Valentine's Day. I don't see any issue with it, but my wife does. I don't see the point in this holiday. It's made up. And I told her we are going to celebrate Abraham Lincoln,
Inside.
and she just isn't buying it. I have already booked my cabin with 2 other incredible people, so I can't cancel it. Would I be the snooty snoot if I went? P.S. I don't think you get to vote if you're not going on this cruise.
Oh, good point.
That's a good point.
Good point, because and as we have established, not the snooty snoot. That's
True.
I mean, it
We're
was
still going to
voted
throw it up.
on.
We're still throwing it up though on the side, on the page.
Yeah.
We got it. We're
How
going to
about
throw it
that?
up in.
If you we're going to throw it up on the page. So if you go to Facebook and you search for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group, join it if you're not already in there, man.
That's right.
You need to be in there. So we're going to post a poll. Now, just as this anonymous person that we didn't totally say his name beforehand says, your vote doesn't really count unless you're already booked into this cruise. So,
you plan. I think we can plan. We can give them the plan on, because there is, some people could be busy.
Yeah. So if you plan on booking, then you can vote. Now, I don't want to see anybody voting that doesn't plan on going. If
In
you
true
vote,
cult member fashion.
If you vote, I'm going to tell Amanda Barmore to contact you. So there you go. Expect a phone call.
Yes, or at least an instant message in Facebook.
Or yeah. We don't know y'all's phone numbers, but
So I do want to bring up my Buc-ee's shirt, man. It's from Texas City, Texas.
There you go.
That's my only Buc-ee's shirt. Oh, your shirt. That's pretty sharp.
It's from Alabama.
That's right.
The Sweet Home, Alabama.
And look right there behind me. There's some more that are. Those are some of the colors that are available. Obviously,
oh, very nice.
Those are colors that are available but the ones that nobody orders. So I have. It's like I have ordered all of these different colors. I was like, oh wow, that looks really good. This is going to be a great shirt. And everybody's ordering like the one that you have, charcoal grays, heather grays, a denim heathers, or the turquoise.
That one on the end, it's kind of like the coral.
Yes, that was FRGC3 shirt. FRGC2 shirts.
FRGC2. I'm telling you, that's a sharp color right there. That's a sharp color.
Yes.
I'm actually, after this show, I'm putting in another order because I need more t-shirts. So
okay. Well, you can go to ccp.cruisingswag.com and put that order in, man.
Oh, I will do that right away. And I will put in loyal listener, and whenever I go in and order it, to pay an extra 5%, because that's just the way we do coupons over here. It's like a reverse coupon. You pay us more.
I'll have to check and see if I can actually do that. That would be hilarious.
So
yes,
there you go.
It would be appreciative as well, because I mean, I'll be honest, the margin on these things really isn't that high.
Yeah, so, we're not out to make a ton of money, but we're about supporting our community. That's what this is about, guys.
That's right.
But hey, talking about supporting our community, did you know that somebody in the community got a pay raise?
I didn't.
You didn't? Well, that's terrifying, because I don't have it pulled up.
Oh, no. Okay. It could have possibly came with a pay raise. You're right. It's a good chance. I do know it was a promotion, so to speak, but in his video last night, he almost made it sound like it wasn't as much of a promotion as well, because he's not going to be able to see his fiance as much now.
Oh, well, I mean, he's talking about emotional promotion, not a financial promotion.
This is true. This is true. So if you don't know
talking about,
if you don't know who we're talking about Lee, the cruise director who is currently on the Carnival Venezia or the
Mhm.
Venezia. He was on the Celebration. He was like their quote unquote, I don't know what you want to call it, man. The main CD over there.
Mhm.
And then he was pulled to go over to the Venezia to fill in for Mark Q while he was going on vacation. And he
Yes.
was supposed to be there for September, October, November, December, and January, leaving right after January 1st, first, second week of January. But Carnival has decided that they want to make him one of the cruise director trainers. The
There you go.
technical term is something that I can pull up rather quickly, but I'm not really sure. But he's taking place of Chris, the Flying Scotsman, who is stepping down to pursue other things. And so now Lee is going to be taking his place. And here's the crazy thing, right?
Mhm.
He's supposed to start it in like just a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he may
Wait.
not.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We were supposed to cruise with him next year.
That is the exact, yes. Fleet
Well.
cruise director is what he is
Okay.
now called. So he's joining with Donkey and the other girl that I never can remember her name. I'm sorry if you listen to this and you don't know that name. I don't know your name, but I know her face. But yeah,
I know
so
who you're talking about. I don't know her name either.
I want to say it's
She
like
was at the New Year's Eve thing.
yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, where they drop the ball. Okay.
No, Carnival never drops the ball.
Well, I mean, it was in Times Square and it was planned because it was New Year's Eve.
that ball. Oh, okay, I got you. So, but yeah, that's the thing, man. So we're excited for Lee. Obviously, we're not excited because he gets to, avoid our interview in December that we had planned, but we don't know who's taking his place as of right now. I have, some hope that we might possibly see Miss Kendall because she'll be coming back off of vacation about that time.
I don't think we'll be seeing her off the Jubilee. You don't know. I maybe that would be nice.
It would be cool.
Yeah,
it would be cool. So, but I'm not throwing that out there. I'm just, I don't know that for sure. Don't go quoting me or sending messages to Kendall saying that the Carnival Cruising Podcastaway said you're going to be on the Venezia. Do not do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, no, we're excited. It was fun. It was, neat to see that. And like I say, he in his video last night, he opened up a little bit and almost got a little emotional because Gabriella is coming over. She's on the performing crew. And so she is coming on to the Venezia like in a couple of weeks. And they had all these grand plans to be together for Christmas and New Year's and everything like that. And now they're not. So kind of sad. But
yeah, that's sad.
It's still good for him, though.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we can, since he'll be off a ship, we can maybe talk him onto the show virtually. So
there you go. Yeah, maybe we can just have him come in and just join like some of our members do. If you want to join the show, reach out to Trevor, send him a speak pipe, or
send me a speak pipe, or message me on Facebook. I totally read every message. I'm really good at that. So I will respond very quickly. I have a track record. So yeah. But I have to vet them through our talent agent, Mr. Manning.
Oh, yes, the talent acquisition manager.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, also, so talking about talent acquisition, if you're if you are a influencer, if that's what you so call yourself, or a YouTube vlogger, you might have been interested in one of these posts that John Heald had come to him this week.
Oh,
yeah.
What happened there?
So, John.
Wait, what did they say to John Heald? Don't make me come over there and fight you. I'll fight you.
Dude, I was hoping I could sneak it in there on you. I was hoping I could just kind of come around. I was trying to throw you a curveball. But you don't have it pulled up, probably, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, I'll cover this as well then. Shit, Tom, you need to come back, brother.
Yeah,
Jen,
Tom back,
Jen,
right?
I'm not wishing you dismay, but Jen, you know, it would be real helpful to have another voice on this show.
I don't know. She kind of like, you know, did us wrong. She just jumped podcasts like that. I'm still kind of. We'll see what happens next week. I don't know.
Yeah, well, so John had a post to come into him from an Instagram fitness influencer.
Oh,
and she said that she was on the track. Oh, wait, why is this not doing that? Come on. You got to be kidding me. My page was. But she was basically on, I'll paraphrase. She was on the running track, running around and recording some video. And she ran by a couple who here we go. I ran past some people who got angry because they were on film. They demanded in a very aggressive way that I delete my video, quoting the statute of limitations. My question, and on the behalf of other influencers like me, is when does the statute of limitations run out? I've searched and not seen it published on your website. I was not advised or asked to sign any type of waiver or consent form before I cruised. Who is right here? So
this is just a very odd like statute of limitations. Like that's usually referred to when you're talking about a crime that you committed.
Exactly.
You know, that was back in 1998, guys. The statute of limitations is passed. Okay.
And that's the other thing is like she wrote statue. She didn't write statute.
That's
so she wrote statue.
Well, I don't know about the statute of limitations. That's a different thing.
that's one of the greatest things to me is John's reply. He says, "Who is limitation, and why does he have his or her own statue?" Honestly, I'm not sure about the answer. I think the respectful thing to do would be to delete the video, just to, you know. But on the other hand, you're in a public place, so I'm not sure. And there you have it, right? So you are in a public place, you're out in public, you're recording. And the only time, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong, but the only time that if you record somebody and you need to get their permission is if you're going to take that video and then turn it into a money-making video, such as like a movie or, some kind of thing like that. Because back in the 80s, there was a guy who would go around and film girls doing crazy things in public and then sell those videos doing those crazy things with the name.
Did they go wild?
They came very, some of them went wild. And so then that is what started the big, you have to have permission to make money on my likeness, basically. So it became like an NIL kind of thing. But yeah, so I don't know about as far, because I personally, I vlog every once in a while. I do walk around with a 360 camera pretty much everywhere I go on port days and like I talked about last week with the sail away party. So yeah. And I've never had anyone say, "Hey, I need you to, are you recording?" Now, I will say TSA will not let you go through their location recording. That's completely
right.
They make sure that the music, they make sure that the video is,
and there's some sense to that.
Yeah.
So I get that.
So,
but
our good friends Huddle Adventures, they had a quote, or they posted on here. They said, "We record content on cruise ships often. We never encountered a single problem like this. With that said, no one has the right to privacy in public places on the ship."
I found the statute of limitations.
Oh, look at you. There it is. Hey, if you are not watching on Spotify, we found the statute of limitations. It's there. Check it out on Spotify. Make sure you go to whatever minute we are in our recording. And
we know what minute this is.
We're at 16 hours and 22 minutes in the recording, actually, but I'm sure that we'll delete some of that for the episode.
Yeah. Thank you, Ideogram, for that image.
Dude, okay, you definitely now have to go to Spotify, or I'll have Trevor try to post it on Facebook, because I literally thought that was a legit statue. I didn't think about going to Ideogram, AI, and making an AI picture of Statue of Limitations. That's hilarious.
Really funny. Well,
but all right. So here's the question to you, listeners. Right, we're going to put up a poll, or we'll start a comment thread. Are you one of those? If you're on the ship and you see a vlogger recording, do you try to get in their vlog, or do you avoid the vlog, or are you not really caring at all? If they just happen to record you, you're cool with it. Or if they do record you, are you going to be the one who says, hey, look, please delete that? I'm on the FBI's not most wanted, but semi-wanted.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, let me put my little thought into this is, we've done a little bit of recording here or there on a cruise. Mm-hmm. And, I think that they're more often than not, nobody really cares, and I have had the instance where, like, doing a live or something along those lines, where somebody has, like, jumped in the background and done silliness, that kind of stuff. That's fun, just whatever. And I have gotten the, like, looks, you know what I mean? Like, people, and I'm like, I forever have that in this video of you going, just giving the ugliest face ever. So it is what it is. It's, to me, in a lot of ways, especially with a lot, like, more often to not, the vlogger that is vlogging on your cruise, him and the dozens of people that are going to watch that video, you're not gonna, like, they're not making money off of you. Your image did not enhance that video, its searchability and all that stuff. So
that is right.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, there are guys out there that are. I mean, obviously, we know we have
absolutely
a couple of these big stations and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know that, like you said, your appearance on there is not going to cause them to get more clicks. In other words, more views. Awesome, man. Well, do that. Go over to our Facebook group and leave us, tell us your thoughts on it. Do you care? That's what we want to know.
Let us know one way or the other if you do care or not. I always think about, like, people taking home videos back in the day, walking around with the giant camcorder instead of a tiny cell phone or whatever they're vlogging with. Mm-hmm. And that seems more intimidating than somebody carrying around their GoPro.
So we do have two other posts from the Facebook group to cover from last week. Yeah. We had two polls that went up. One was the Snooty Snoot post about our Am I the Snooty Snoot from last week, about the guy who was just celebrating his 30th birthday, and his friend decided to buy him a cruise, and then the lady decided that she got mad at him because she wanted to throw him a beach getaway, and who was the Snooty Snoot and all of that. Well, the answer is our first ever tie.
What?
Yes. So there is the options, right? The options were if it was the birthday boy, the girlfriend, the best friend, none of them, and then Stephen Lyles, one of our new devoted listeners who's going on FRGC 3. That's CCP 1. I don't know why I said FRGC 3.
Yeah.
But so he added a thing, and he said the flip flopper. Now, if I had not already voted, that probably would have got my vote, and I wish I would have thought about it. But it tied between the girl who secretly planned a beach getaway and none of them, both got 45% of the vote.
Okay. Well,
his topic gave, basically 10% to their poll. So,
okay. I honestly, and I've messed the poll up because I unvoted to mess it up where it no longer is tied.
You just voted to take it away?
I took my vote off, and so now it's no longer tied. And then I tried to add my vote back on. It says it's too late. The poll is ended.
Yes, the poll will last for a couple of days. So that's the other. I try to put them in there just so now the girl who secretly planned a beach getaway is now the snooty snoot.
Now the snooty snoot. That's the way to go. But it was 50-50. So the 50-50 was none of them. So and I kind of agree. So I mean, I was on the side of the it was the girl, but then I really thought about it, and especially after I saw the none of them was on there, I thought, you know what, she was just trying to plan something. I don't think anybody had any ill intentions in that whole thing, and so I went ahead and went with none of them, which I think was a good vote.
There you go.
So
and then our other topic we discussed last week, because we talked about our embarkation day and what we do on embarkation day and after that first sea day. And so I had the question about, when do you consider the first day of your cruise? What do you consider? Do you consider that whenever you first get on the ship, or is it the next day whenever you wake up? Well, an unbelievable amount, which is typically when this topic comes up in other people's lives and videos and things like that, the majority of people do feel that when you first get on that ship, that is your first day of the cruise. 74% of the people in the poll voted for that. Only 11% of the people voted for the day that you wake up on the ship.
Yes.
And then 15% of the people voted Trevor is a snooty snoot.
Well, I don't know why they would say that. I'm gonna probably go to guest relations, use my platinum card to get in the short line and complain about what they said. So there is a Facebook group. I'll probably complain in there as well. The platinum and diamond cruisers group as well. So I'll go complain in there. I am not a snooty snoot. Thank you very much.
And yes. And there's been also a lot of different, interaction going on in the page. We've got some people posting pictures of their swag that they got. We've got a guy, a member posted a post in here about going on the ultimate, maybe having a possible Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group cruise 2 in October of next year. And so there's been some nice interaction going on this week in the group. So make sure that you definitely cruise on over there and get in there so that you can be a part of all the fun.
Absolutely. And if you guys see anything that you're like, man, that would be a wonderful Podcastaways group cruise, definitely come on over. Let us know about it. We'll all probably poop on it, but
Hold on. There is one cruise that we will not entertain as a Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group cruise.
What's that?
That would be the Beached Whale cruise, because that's what it would be for me if I was on a cruise ship with no clothes on.
Oh, the nude cruise.
So, the nude cruise, yes. Do not recommend that we go on the nude cruise. I know that a lot of you guys out there, that's going to be we're probably going to get flooded with, hey, you guys should think about this for your next cruise. But no, we will not. Sorry. We will let Tom go to the MDR in a Speedo. Yeah. But that'll be the limit to it.
Well, that's a norm for us. So
yes. Hey, speaking of Speedos.
Yeah.
Do you know when you might wear a Speedo?
Instead of Elegant Night?
Exactly.
In the MDR?
instead of Elegant Night on the MDR.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. When would you?
You might try to wear a Speedo while you're on the beach on one of these excursions.
Oh my goodness. And did you know that our topic this week is we're going to be talking about, we're going to continue this we're dragging this, beating this horse, I mean, of what we do on a cruise and
what to expect when you're cruising. What to expect when you're cruising.
What to expect. And I think I do some clickbaity titles. The ultimate secrets. So we'll see what this week is. But okay, so we're going to talk about both when we're booking excursions or if we pre-book and all those kind of things. So that's going to be our first topic for this episode. And I'll go ahead and start off.
Okay.
Now, typically, it can be a 50-50 shot, but I'm not one of those like last minute planners. Like I'm not the kind of person that can step out and off a cruise and say, taxi, take me somewhere. And so that is just not I'm built different that way. I can't do it. So typically if we go outside of Carnival, I've pre-booked something. I've planned something and I've got something in mind. I'm doing that. I'm either doing it on my own or we are doing it with a excursion group. Now, my wife loves to use Carnival as her booking stuff. So like we'll go through and we'll look at all the options. I will say that with Alaska, there were a ton of things on there that, you know, that may not have been offered elsewhere. So because we were so early in the season, that's not typical for all Alaskan cruises. So we were kind of stuck with what Carnival was offering is what I'm getting at. So, but we'll go through, we'll book all of our things beforehand. And so like we have Mr. Sancho's booked or we have this or that booked and we'll adventure with a plan typically. Now, if we're going out on our own, I've typically like downloaded the map on my Google Maps. And then we'll go through and then I'll have downloaded like in the Bahamas, I'll actually go through and like we're going to go to the Queen's Staircase and I'll have taken pictures, screenshots of the Wikipedia and we'll read the Wikipedia when we get there because we're nerds. So
that truly is awesome. I'm not going to
lie. But yeah, that's kind of how we roll. So,
gotcha.
How about you?
Well, I think that Teresa and I have officially done 3, maybe not 2 Carnival excursions.
Okay.
Out of all of the ports. Out of all of the cruises that we've ever done. The main one that I will swear by 100% is Tabasco Chef Maestro in Cozumel. That is one of the most, now I've read some recent reviews and there's some people, they've reorganized some stuff and it's kind of a little bit different now and it's not getting as good of reviews as it was before. But back, when we did that, we've actually done it twice, maybe 3 times. And so that was just an absolutely incredible time. But they go in, it's called Chef Maestro. It's Master Chef Cozumel style. You go in, they give you margaritas, daiquiris, Cokes, sodas, hopefully that came out Cokes, plural, not Coke with sodas, but I caught myself with Cokes because in the South, we call everything a Coke, right? Mm-hmm. So like, you're about to walk into the curb store. And so you say, hey, what do you want? And somebody will say, hey, bring me a Coke. Okay. What kind? Oh, I want a Sprite. Okay. They're not asking for an actual Coke. They're asking for, a Coca-Cola.
We do that, but we call it soda pop.
Yeah. See, that's ignorant, but anyways, so they give you sodas, they give you and then you bake 3 meals. You do a 3-course meal. Ceviche is your appetizer. You make that kind of last-ish. You make some dessert, which they make first so that they could go ahead and prepare it, get it all ready. And then you make your meal as well, which is typically a chili relleno. But yes, and back to it. That's a totally different thing. This isn't talking about Chef Maestro. But typically what we do, okay, we get off the ship and we walk over and we find a taxi driver and we say, hey, how much are you going to charge us to drive us around and show us the island and give us a tour and let us experience the culture the way that you do it? And they'll give us a price and we'll say, okay, hey, that works, and $40 or whatever it might be. And we'll have them go to a restaurant, their favorite restaurant. We'll buy their meal for them, and we just get to sightsee and do things like that. We have booked through Viator or Viator before, which is really neat and cool. I spoke to one of our listeners this week about that. And what's nice is if you let your travel agent book it for you, they get a little bit of a kickback, so you're helping that small business. So yeah. So if you ever book through Viator or Viator, whichever way you want to call it, I think it's actually called Viator, but let your travel agent do it for you. That way they can get a little bit of a kickback and, you're padding their pocket. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And I will say too, on some of these, depending on the travel agent's pull, for lack of better terms, they could actually give you a little bit better treatment on some of those excursions as well.
Okay.
So there is that. But yeah, then that's typically our excursion days, man. We have Grand Cayman. We booked through Viator and did the Stingray thing that you did, the Stingray Beach.
Yes.
We've done that, but we did it through Viator. We didn't do it through Carnival.
Okay.
We've done, trying to think of the actual true excursions that we've booked, and that's about really the Chef Maestro, that, and then we did Sammy in Aruba.
Yeah,
that was another one that we've done. And then we also, I've spoken about him before, but we've got Adonai in Roatan, and he is every time, it doesn't matter, whenever we go to Roatan, I hit him up and let him come over, pick us up from the port and just drive us around. He does his own little private thing, and he does like what Charlie does. And he just makes a custom built itinerary for you while you're there on the island.
Yeah.
So super duper cheap though, man. When we went for FRGC2, we went to Roatan and he took us around the island, went into the monkeys and sloths, took us to a beach, and did, it was $45 a person.
Nice.
Monkeys and sloths
honestly,
are $80.
Yeah, I was going to say that's monkey and sloths. With Carnival, you're going to pay a lot more. It's like a must do. And
yes,
if you are booking outside of Carnival, now let me phrase this. So riddle me this, Gary. How many times have you been left behind?
None that I can recall.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
No, the only time that we have ever not been back to port early enough to be on the ship when even the first horn blows is the very, very first cruise that we did back in 2002 when Teresa, myself, and a couple of our friends went off to Atlantis and just I think I've talked about it before. We walked out of it. We walked out of Atlantis, went the wrong way, and so we couldn't. We were struggling getting back. But
that's what happens when you go to lost cities.
That's right, exactly. You can get lost as well.
Get lost as well.
Yeah. So so our excursion experience now, and that's the thing though. Now, and I will get a little bit of an idea sometimes of what I want to do. Like Nassau now is getting. We've been to Nassau enough, and we have our kind of a route that we do in Nassau that gives us all of the kind of popular spots and things like that. But we also are looking for other things to do because there is so much to do in Nassau. We just want to see something different too every time.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's, so that's where it's at, man. But yeah, there's the thing is we plan a little bit, but we are one of those that have been known to get off the ship and have no idea what we're going to be doing that day. and still end up having a fantastic time just because we let the,
that's like those ports like Cozumel and, Freeport and Nassau for me, which, I've been there a few times. Same thing with Key West. It's just like, man, I don't have much of a plan. I have a vague idea. I'm going to get off the ship and I'm going to go figure something out. And typically it involves a bar somewhere. And I'll stumble back to the ship. But, I have a perfectly great time doing it. So
that's right. Exactly.
That's what it's about. And what's funny is I think it was in Nassau, just getting out and walking around. There have been times that I've had weird experiences of just like running in. There's a dude selling, he wrote a book and it was about ghosts in Nassau. And he wrote the book. He had a whole bunch of them there, and we bought one of his books and he signed it. That was pretty cool. Then another dude made he was making cigars right there. And we bought some of his cigars. I'm not a cigar smoker. I don't know how good they were. I gave them away. They were very cheap.
Hey,
so
there you have it, though. And that was probably that person. I mean, they either loved them or they hated them. I mean, I know that doesn't, but yeah. So I'm checking because there was for our dudes cruise. We're talking about excursions. There's an excursion now that's new to Cozumel. It's nude. It's not nude. It's new.
Oh, new.
But it's also available on Viator.
Okay.
But I want to get the name of it so that because I know that I have the name in my head. Yeah. But I want to make sure that I get it correct because I really feel this might be our excursion for the dudes cruise.
Is it the Abraham Lincoln experience? Because I think
in Cozumel. It's what? You've got to be kidding me. It can't be sold out already. I'm not seeing it in the list, man. Maybe I scrolled by it. So it is I'm just going to call it the Lucha Libre.
Oh, you did send this to me. Yes,
I did.
You sent it to me in a text. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
And so I am really, 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 really thinking that this might be. There it is. Yes, it is. It is called the Lucha Libre Wrestling Show with Backstage Pass. And the reviews of it are absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I even went over to Viator, and it's on Viator. I will tell you that there was some help finding that. Thank you, loyal listener, for helping me find it on there.
There you go.
But yeah, I will. I'm telling you, man, this looks like it might be our excursion for the dudes cruise.
Dude, I'm all about it.
What else would you rather do with a whole bunch of guys but go to an actual true Mexican wrestling?
Dude, I'm all about it.
So, I mean, I think it'll be a blast. They feed you margaritas while you're there. I mean,
well,
it can't be any better. Yeah, it couldn't be any better. We may not get to the mission again because we're going.
Yeah, well, the mission will always be there. Okay.
Yes. So we don't know how long this Lucha Libre will last, though. That's
exactly.
So if we're there, we got to do it. So
we got to go and go to lucha.
That's it. Yes. Yes.
So funny.
But no, that's it, man. So, and then, you'll have more sea days while you're cruising. You'll have more ports. I tell you, the biggest, most awesomest thing that I did this week was I binged Kindle Fire and Joey Boy's podcast. I listened to their first season. And I'm going to tell you, it was really cool. It was really neat. It was exciting. They did a fantastic job. It's called Talking Ship. If you look for it on Spotify, it's there. If you look for it on Apple, it's supposedly over there. But I listened to theirs, and they taught me a lot about all of this. And they even talk about excursions. They talk about different things. But one of the biggest things that they mentioned was, obviously using Carnival, but to also not use Carnival and do your own thing, because sometimes you can do your own thing and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. They did really a good job with that. But they also gave me some insight to, like, did you know most 4-day cruises are only one port? Sometimes you'll do 2 ports. 5-day cruises are 2 ports, sometimes 3 ports. And they broke all of these different itineraries down and what to expect. And the name of the episode was, Does Length Matter? And it was just
a great episode name.
It was. I mean,
that's a great.
It was so good. And so they even talked about doing journey cruises. And he talked about Joey did a transatlantic, and it was 9 sea days back to back.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the work and effort that went into that on the crew, because they have to entertain every day while they're there. But I say all that to say, so what do you expect while you're on a cruise? Check out their podcast. Make sure you come back to ours, because, we are your first.
I will say it's probably one of the best podcasts for cruising that's out there besides ours. So.
Yes. Oh, I would 100% agree with that. And so, but they have that, and it's called Talking Ship, where they talk about their relationship. They give you a little bit of insight of what it's like to have a relationship on the ship. And they talk about some other things as well. But I was really surprised with the insight that they gave as far as the behind the scenes workings and stuff, and what to expect. And I was like, wow, we should have brought them in to let them have a little segment in our episode about what to expect while you're on a ship. But you can just go over there and listen to theirs. They talk, though. That's what you're going to expect. You're going to have your itinerary. 3-4 days is what they say is the best for the first time cruiser. 5 and 6 day cruises is where you are at whenever you have family with kids and stuff like that. They say a lot of kids are on 5 and 6 day cruises. Yeah. Those 7 and 8 day cruises are typically more experienced cruisers that are couples, and they're just out there just trying to get away from it all, is what they said. So it was that was a neat episode, though, that they talked about. But as a cruiser for you guys, and you're listening to this wanting to know what to expect, just know you're going to have those days that you're in port. If you plan an excursion, you're good. If you don't, and you just step off the ship and you're like, hey, Mr. Taxi Driver, drive me around the island. Here's $20, and he'll do it for you. They'll have a good time. So the option's yours. That's one of the cool things about cruising. Yeah. Is that it's customizable.
Yeah. Every experience can be different. You could go to Cozumel 15 times and still come up with something new to do. I'm lazy, so, I down talk it a lot, but I also, enjoy, the guy with the whistle and dumping tequila in my mouth. So there's that.
There is that. But Trevor, after all of your excursions are done, after all of your sea days are done,
no,
I know it comes to a point in time. They sing the song the night before in the MDR.
No,
talking about leaving the fun ship.
Oh, that's terrible. So this is what you do: you hide.
Okay. Do you have your hiding? We don't need to disclose the hiding place.
But I do have a hiding place. I do. There's one place that you could totally get away with it. At least
there's only one problem, though.
Class.
There's only one problem with hiding.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna find you at some point.
Well, as you leave the ship, they scan your card.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as they scan your card, that takes you off the roll.
Yep.
And before they're allowed to bring other people on, everybody who checked in has to have checked out.
Yeah. So I will say, and I don't remember which cruise it is, but it was one I've done in the last year and a half to 2 years. There were actually people hiding on the cruise. And it was two ladies. And they were terrified, though this is what the rumor was. I don't know if this is true or not, but they had a casino debt. and they were terrified because once you're off that ship, it hits your account, and they did not want to get off the ship for whatever reason. That was their mindset. I don't know if any of that's true, but they but it was funny because you could hear we're all sitting and waiting to get on the ship, and you could hear the announcements on the ship. It's like Betty and Selma. And it was so funny. They were looking for them and they found them. But
next time it's going to be Teresa and Megan.
Yeah,
Teresa and Megan.
Yeah, absolutely. But so okay, so I'll do this one of two ways, because I now have a new favorite thing, and you're going to experience this next year. But typically, you know, I have this amazing platinum card, and so whenever we get the night before, typically we're just told, you get a nice letter that says, you know, go ahead and hang on a sec. Go ahead and
you Spotify watchers, a little bit of video fun going on.
Yeah. So it says to go ahead and show up at this time to the lounge, or, you know, not the lounge, but the restaurant, and with your bags. And so you got to go up there, and it's kind of like Wayne's World, where they've got the passes out and they're like, you know, showing everything because they don't want you up there, you know, on the whatever floor. And so we line up, but it is not as put together as people make it sound, because there are people cutting in line and people being grumpy and all kinds of stuff going on there. Imagine
that.
A room full of snooty snoots.
Somebody would be grumpy in the platinum and diamond group.
No. Yeah. But typically, like, I don't have anywhere to get quickly. So I don't really care when I get off the ship, but I do care that if I'm not in a hurry, I will check my luggage the night before, and it'll be waiting on me. So I don't have to roll the damn things everywhere I go that day, because they want you out of that room as soon as possible. So I will either check my luggage, and very seldom do I ever carry or do the carry off. I can't do it. It just stresses me, and I don't want to deal with it. But what I was going to say, though, is, and you're going to experience this on CCP Group Cruise 1, which, you know, all of our listeners could experience this if they go and talk to Amanda Barmore about how much it costs to go on there, and you could go to Alaska with us. So I'm just throwing that out there. But information will be listed below. But so when you get off the ship, there's going to be, you're going to get it. Well, actually, it's early on. So you're going to get a letter that basically says, like, your airline and all this stuff. And what they do is you can elect to not only check your luggage, but you can check it all the way to the airport. And when you don't have to deal with it or anything, you can go into the airport, no luggage, and it'll be on your airplane whenever you fly. So you have to, like, trust that it's like a trust fall thing. You got to trust that this is happening. Okay. It sounds stressful, and it is kind of, but it worked perfectly for almost everyone that was on our cruise. I don't really recall anything that was too bad that, like, lost luggage. I think it was more like lost luggage that was in the transfers and stuff. But you turn your slip in, and so you let them know how many bags that you're going to be checking and all that stuff. And it is such a good system, and I hope more places than Seattle adopt this thing, because, man, it is so helpful that I can get on and off buses. I could walk around Seattle for a while. It's whatever. And with Southwest Airlines, they won't let you like check in until 3 or 4 hours before your flight. So if your luggage is already checked, then you could be 9 hours and you just go on back and do your thing. So you're good to go.
Now that is only, so what you were saying though, you did cover it there. That's what you've noticed in Seattle.
That's Seattle.
With the Alaska,
so, yes.
Because I'd never fly. Seattle will be my first time ever flying to a port. But so I will be able to take advantage of that. That sounds good. I like that idea. However, for me, all of the other times, whenever I disembark, I stick my luggage out in the hallway the night before. It disappears. It shows up in the terminal the next morning. I wake up, I grab my bag that has my toiletries and things like that in it. That is my carry-off.
Yeah.
And because I like to brush my teeth in the morning. I don't know for other people who don't do a carry-off. And so then I go up to the Blue Iguana, get my last breakfast burrito, and then find a place to sit down in the buffet area or somewhere else in the ship in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And then I get off I won't say the last minute, but I do get off. We typically, so here's the thing, and this is a little bit of a quote unquote hack for our listeners. Before they had the luggage tags hanging up, and you walked by and you just grabbed one off of the rack. I think 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all allocated for platinum and diamond cruisers, the snooty snoots. So 5 and up are the normal people. And so I have a couple of 5 tags that I always put on my luggage those nights before. So if something happens and we do need to get off the ship pretty quick, we're able to get either the 5, 6, or 7, that type of thing. But typically we get a late tag the night before. Now in your app, whenever you check it, you just
I was gonna say it all does with the app now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And they just bring me 0 tags. I don't know what that means, 0 or -1. I mean, it's just like it's interesting how it works for us. But
well, the thing is, and I mean, we've discussed this. You are a loyal Carnival cruiser. You're the head host, the creator of Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. You are one of the premium snooty snoots.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So there is that. I mean, and so of course you're going to get a little bit more special treatment than what our listeners can obtain.
Yeah.
But
and when they don't recognize, I'll say, well, John Hild will hear about this, and I'll stomp my way out.
There you go. See? Yeah. All you got to do is drop that JH band and you get stuff happens.
Yeah.
So, man, I tell you, I'm looking at our time. We are way over what we need to be, even though with our extra.
Yeah, I have no clue. We're probably right on time, but there you go. Make sure you go over to our SpeakPipe page over at speakpipe.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Leave us a voicemail. We will get back to it. And at some point, maybe a year, I'll play it. And we have our 2 Facebook pages. We have the page and a group. So just search for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Join them both. The group is where like a lot of little fun things happen. So, but if you want to see clips and fun stuff of the show, look at the other as well. And also just know that you are unique, you are special, and you are loved.
There you have it. And I will tell you right now, we had a very, very awesome milestone happen this week. We are in the double digits, my friend. 96 days, and we will be boarding the Carnival Venezia 97 breakfast burrito in my hand.
And save the foosball tables. Bye-bye. And whatever you do on YouTube will be on a cruise ship. See you guys.
Adios.
Ay, 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 ay.